Yo, what up? Is this thing on? Can you guys hear me? Hello, hello? Do a quick audio check. And we should be good to go. Alright, how's everyone doing today? Good, I hope. So, last we were working on this. Last I left off, I was working on the, setting up the panels. Trying to get, various panels so that, or modular panels in the sense that you have a config file that you can customize, and then the ability to switch between different configs. For instance, my button 0 on this keypad is going to be switched to the next panel, and then button 6 is going to be switched to the previous panel. And then we have two different panel configs in here that we can swap to. So I did get that kind of squared away. So I'll kind of go through and review a little bit of that code. So prior to this, what I was doing is I was up at the top is where we're loading in the panels. What I was doing before is I was doing some really stupid jank to programmatically reference the Python files that are in the directory. And instead what I did is I refactored that so that we can just establish like a config file, like a JSON file, and then we have our generic panel object, panel Python object that will be able to load that config and handle all of the functionality that's expressed within that config. So I changed it from instead of having to define a like a Python file with a new panel object in it, a unique panel object that extends the default panel object. I just made it into a config file. So this folder that's over here in our working directory, this panels folder, you just throw a JSON file in there that adheres to this kind of format, where you've got a name of the panel. You can provide a background image. You can also provide a color, and then you set the order of the panels so that it can kind of sort them for you and make sure that it iterates or cycles through the panels in the proper order. So if you want one to come after another, you can specify that in the order right here. And then we have our key mapping dictionary, which contains the actual actions that occur whenever you press a key. So for instance, we've got our switch action, which switches panels. We have our keybind action, and then I think in our other one, I have an example of an execute action. So you just establish a JSON file for the config, throw that into the folder, and then our code back over here will go through and it'll get all of the configs, all the JSON files that are in that directory, and then it'll go through and it'll create a new panel object and pass that config to the panel object, stick that into the panel list, and then we sort that based off of the order. So we're using a lambda here. This is pretty much the only scenario that I like to use lambdas in, mostly because they get pretty complicated pretty quick. So I prefer not to use them in too many things. Wow, that's a big cursor. Okay. So that gets our panels, sticks them all into a panel list, and then what we'll do is we'll go and we'll set our active panel to the first panel that's in that list. We'll establish our display pad device, and then we'll have a while loop to go through and handle the display pad while it's connected and running. So to start off that while loop, what it does is it goes and it pulls input from the device. So it'll get any input from the device. So if you press a key on the device, it'll send it back. And then we check to see if that key code is an integer. If it is, then we handle the input. And we pass the key code to the handle input function of our panel. And then After we've done that, we'll get an update. So we'll update our panel, and the update function is pretty straightforward. This, let's see, is down here. So what it'll do is if it's inactive, it'll return the switch response along with the inactive value, which contains the next panel to go to, or if it's like previous or next. I wanted to set up the, I hope this audio is okay. Let me bring it down a little bit. I wanted to set up the commands for switching so that instead of next and previous, you can also just put a specific panel number, like one of these order values, and then it'll go straight to that. So that's something that would be that we can work on today, possibly. But anyway, it'll call this update method that's on the panel object and store that value into a status. If we actually get a status value, because sometimes it'll return nothing. When we don't have an update, it's not going to return anything. That's probably not best practice, but I'm not too worried about it. So we get our status stored from our panel update, and then if our status, if our first value within the status tuple is draw, what we're going to do is we're going to set the panel image. If it's switch, then what we're going to do is we're going to handle the next and the previous cases. I probably could have done something a little bit cleaner for this, but I didn't want to spend 2 hours racking my brain trying to figure out the cleanest way to do this. But this works. So what we're doing is we're checking if next is in our second item in the tuple, the status tuple. Then what we'll do is we will get our active panel, and we'll increment that value by 1, and then add another one because Python starts indexing at 0. I think that's why I did that. And then the less than the length of the panel list. So if incrementing our panel would still fall within the length of our panel list, then what we'll do is we'll increment our panel and we'll set the active panel. If it isn't, then we'll loop back to the beginning of the panel list. So if we press the next button and it decides, oh, that is outside the length of our array, then we're just going to loop back to the beginning of our array. We'll set our active panel to the very first item. And then we do kind of similar but the opposite for the previous value. So if we get previous in status 1, then what we're going to do is we're going to offset due to indexing at 0, and then we're going to subtract, which I guess doesn't really make a difference. I don't know, whatever. It works. So similarly, if that value falls outside the length of our index or of our array, we're going to get the last item in the array. So we're going to loop backwards and get the last item in the list, and set that as our active panel. And then what we'll do is we'll call the activate function on the panel. So in here, what that'll do is it'll set inactive to false, and it'll set stale to true to force a refresh of the device. So that's kind of where it's at right now. Let me get the device hooked up to this VM, and I'll show you guys kind of what that looks like. All right, and close out of that. And if everything's working right, it should update and give us a nice little display. There we go. Yeah, I'll fix my ducky. Yeah, so and I'm kind of just using some generic UI stuff downloaded from itch.io from some generous artists. But in this case, we've got our panel switcher, so I can push this up button, and you can see it'll go through and change to panel 2. Then I can push it again, it goes back, changes to panel 1. Then I can just do this all day long. Swap back and forth between these panels. And then you see, oh, wait a minute. Interesting. Okay, so it doesn't seem like the actual keys, or no wait, do I have these? Oh, okay, okay, okay. Just to make sure. Okay, yeah, so this third one is supposed to open Firefox on the default config. There's that one. Okay, opens Firefox. Okay. I thought for a second that the keybinds weren't actually changing. Okay. So, with that being the case, let's go ahead and take all of this off. Articles. And one of the things that I wanted to do was kind of go through and customize it because I want to start using it. And then I also want to release the code on GitHub. Just kind of throw it out there just so that other people can start using it. And maybe they can make improvements to it or something. Who knows? But if anything, just getting it working for myself and then sharing it with others, I think is probably adequate. All right, so where do I want to dig in? So I guess the issue with customizing it is I don't really know what I want to do. I don't know what I want it to do yet. I guess what I can do is I can customize, actually one thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to set some text. I kind of wanted to make it so that if you don't have an icon, it'll put text over the button just so that kind of know what it is anyway, and that you know, or that you know that it has a function on that button. Um, hmm. All right, so that's going to be under our image lib, add icon. This is going to be under our, let's see. So make our virtual canvas. All right, so this is where we initialize our panel and set the icon. So if icon path, so what we can do is we can add an else here. And then, I wonder if, let's add another function in here. Can be like add text. And we're gonna get the text value. And then let's see how we render some text. We do an image draw. Text draws the string at the given position. Image font instance. All right. So image font. No, that's it doesn't default to anything. So I have to set that. Text anchor alignment determines relative location anchor to the text. Default alignment is top left. Okay. Spacing and alignment. Okay, so those are set. Direction. Okay. All right, so let's see what our image font is. Alright, so in their example, they just load a true type Arial TTF font. I guess that's setting the size to 15 point. And then they're using draw text. Okay. So we should be able to make an image draw. So we've already got, I was messing around with this earlier. I was trying to get some rounded rectangles drawn onto the screen. Because I would like to have the icons a little bit more consistent. So like if you pass anything that's regardless of size, it'll resize it and position it properly based off the size of the icon. But that's a little complicated, and I kind of gave up. Got bored and went to do something else. But in our case, we want to we're gonna make our T draw, or our draw image draw is made right here, so we could just reuse this. Let's go ahead and comment that out. And comment that out because we don't need that. And we're going to copy this. We don't need that either. Copy this. Gonna stick it down here into add text. Oh, we'll also need a keynum. Because we're going to emulate basically this whole function. We'll copy this to the alpha composite. And then instead of that, we're going to use our tile. Image draw, and then we want T draw. Let's see, text, right? Yeah, and you give it the position, the text. All right, so the position is going to be let's just do this real quick. All right, so I don't think I want any more of these. Oh, we need to make the font, that's right. We also need to import image font. And let's see. It's all lowercase, true type. Okay, and then Arial. Let's just do this. And let's go with 8 point. It's Arial, not Ariel. All right, we'll fill it with black. Oops. Um, I'll get rid of some of these that we don't need. Font size. So let's see. Image font. Okay. So realistically, all we need is the font, the text, the position. Take care of that. And then tile. Let's try that. We'll go over here and we will self canvas dot add text. And the text is going to be we want to get the value, right? So we want to print this. All right, so the icon path should be the value. Oops. Oh, no, wait, that gets the icon value. Just need value. Okay. So text equals self dot, or no, it's val dot get. I don't think we actually need to convert this to an integer anymore. We'll find out. Yeah, so let's go ahead and run this. Deal with the errors that it gives me. Can I open resource? Uh-oh, here we go. Oh, we get to deal with fonts. Oh, I hate dealing with fonts. All right. I'm just gonna do a I'm gonna do a find command. Look for TTF files. See which ones are around the system. User share fonts true type. Let's do Oh, cool. We already have a font tool. Neat. Dodo sand, so I guess that's what's being used. There are a lot. Is that even a thing? the what? What is the name of the Noto Sans regular? Bruh, what's the actual fucking file name? Make me dig for this. Come on. Um, but where is it? Alright, let's just try this. Noto Sans Mono Medium TTF. Where are we? Alright, let's see what that does. Ah, icon size. Yep, that's what I get for stealing code. Alright. Actually, let's just go up here. Eh. Okay. So you could set that to whatever the hell you want later if you want. Okay, so I got all that. Let's try this again. Oh, I guess I do have to convert it into int. I thought I was, I was doing that already. Whatever. Whatever. Okay. So, it should put text over the stuff. What am I doing? What did I do wrong? So we're getting the value as the text. I guess it's not blitting it properly. Do I need to save it? How does that work? It just looks like they're drawing it on there. Alright, so let's try just bump that up in size, and then we're alpha compositing our canvas with our tile. Align left. That should be working. Um, okay. Alright, that did not work. So we make our new icon tile that we're going to draw onto. We create our draw object, and then we draw the text. So it makes a new draw object, draws the text. Let's look at this. Here we go, draw partial opacity text. Oh, am I doing the alpha composite on... Does the image object have an alpha composite? Image.alpha composite. Yeah, image composite over this one. Unless it's not actually getting called, we can check. Do some classic debug print statements just to check that variable. Yeah, so it looks like it's supposed to be adding the text. So add it to that one, that one, that one. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not seeing any text on there, so that is clearly not working. This is the part where I just stare at it until it makes sense. Um, yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Let's go back to the docs. Not currently implemented in place in the core layer. So maybe I need to change this up so that it is let's do image alpha composite, and we will do this. I think that'll work. It's kind of how they explained it over here. The base image, where is that? Oh, okay. So it opens this image as base. Gotcha, okay. So that should work just as well. Alright, this might just stick it all in the same spot, I think. Like at our origin. No, images do not match. But I thought they were RGBA, no? Image new RGBA. Oh, do they not match in size? I guess they don't match in size. I feel like this is still what we're supposed to be doing. Maybe we need to solve canvas. Save. Let's do that. We'll at least see what the actual output image looks like. Let's see if it actually has text on it. Well, first off, that's red. It's not supposed to be red. Yeah, I guess it didn't save that, or it did, and that's what it looks like. All right, let's just delete that real quick and rerun this. That's interesting. This was something that I ran into while I was messing around with it. Or like if we go and we look at the color, clearly this is RGB, right? Red, green, blue. But on the actual device, you can see that that is blue. So it's BGR. When it actually hits the device, it's BGR, and I feel like this is part of where I'm like messing up the order of the data that gets sent to the device. So if we go and look at our set panel image, we're passing it a bunch of tuples that are RGB values, RGB pixel values, but I'm guessing those pixel values are not hitting the device in the right order because the device is expecting its data to be Little Indian. I think that's the reason why that is occurring. I just haven't bothered to actually dig into that completely. So I kind of just have it in my mind that any of these color values, you should put them in as BGR if you want them to come out correctly on the device. Just kind of dumb, but I feel like we could probably invert the tuple, like the pixel value. So like over here, where we're doing our magic sauce right here. For ion pixel. See, we can iterate through this backwards. -1, right? That sets our step to -1. Alright, so that still came out as blue on our device. This is still red. That did nothing. What is it? Dot reverse? Yeah, okay, it is dot reverse. Okay. Let's try that. Reverse the order of these. It should come up as red on the screen. If that actually does anything. Tuple object has no attribute reverse. Alright, let's look at Python tuples. Alright. Just look it up. Oh, reverse a tuple. Oh, that's right. You gotta. Mm, yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, I thought I tried doing that, but I don't think it liked it. I mean, it didn't dislike it. That's not right. Just trying to write 0 bytes. Okay, this will get ugly. Okay, so that's still 255, 120, 120. Um, which should be red. So if we do, so we should see this get reversed. Ah, a bunch of nothing. What if we do that? Does that should give us the right pixel values, right? Yeah, okay. So if I do like list dot reverse. I don't think I need to convert them back into tuples before I send them, because really I'm just getting the pixel values. It's a bunch of none. Let's just do it without the reverse method. See what that gives us. Okay, so that actually gives us that. So what if we do? Oh, is it reversed and not reverse? Did I do reversed or reverse? Reversed. I think that's it. Oh, no, okay. Let's do this. Let's get the first three converted to a list, and then we'll slice backwards. There we go. So that works. Let's try that. It's very dumb, but whatever. I'm not against doing dumb things. Alright. God, that's ugly. Okay. Let's see if it works, though. Hey, there we go. Alright, so now our colors are being reported properly, or at least being sent to the device properly. Okay, so that's cool. That, a little distraction, get that out of the way now, and I'm not bothered by it anymore. So, what the hell was I doing? That's right, I was trying to get text. Trying to get text rendered, so... First off, I don't want this to be red, so let me go in here. Set this back. And that one's still fine. Okay. And it should turn to blue. Hey, there we go. And coding is so fun. When you get it all working. Do I need to convert it? Nope, I don't think that worked. Not seeing any text. Do we need to do... Do we need to paste the text or get the text onto... No. Image draw from the tile. Make a new image. So it looks like... Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm doing this right. I'm not sure why it's not actually putting the content onto the thingy. Yeah, I don't know. So we're at about an hour of streaming, so I think it's a good opportunity to take a break. I'm gonna go get some more coffee and let this question stew in the back of my mind while I get coffee, and I'll be back in just a couple minutes. Yo, what up? Okay, I'm back. All right, let's see. So we're trying to get the text onto a tile that we can then blit onto, or alpha composite onto the display. And it's not playing nice. So and I'm not too sure at what point it is falling through. I wonder if we can just use the show command. Let's see, self.canvas.show. What is this? Well, let's just do like a render. Open up a little renderer. Wowee! Wow, that's cool. Interesting. Not seeing any text. Um, let's take all of these out except for what we need. Maybe that's messing us up. I wouldn't think so, but who knows? I've seen weirder shit. I am still not seeing any text. So we're adding text, we're calling our add text. That gets called. It does actually get down to where it alpha composites onto the image. I thought this would be easy, but apparently not. Let's try drawing text directly onto. No, because it's not how they're doing it over here. See over here, they're making a new image. Multi-line text. Well, this one, they're... I wonder if the opacity is 0. Oops. Alright. What does that give us? Nothing. That gives us diddly squat. Okay. See if anybody else out there is having the same problem, or at least can give some examples. Mm-hmm. Oh, you do load default. That's interesting. For the font, I wonder if you can do that. Not sure that'll actually make a difference, but that'll be nice for people to not have to go in and specify custom font. Um, Jesus Christ. This is so stupid. I hate Stack Overflow sometimes. This person, like, I'm just trying to add text. I'm using jQuery. My text is multi-line. And this person's like, why you want to write text on an image using PIL? I am not sure if PIL helps in that. Isn't it good enough for you to show text in overlay, which is used most commonly in sliders? So stupid. Hmm. Yeah. Okay, so let's just step through this again. So we set our font. We load the default font. We create our new image that we're going to be writing our text to. And then we make a new image draw object from that. And then we draw some text on that image draw object. That should be all you need. Then we alpha composite that tile. I have no idea why this is throwing me for a loop. Hmm. Maybe we can just move on to something else. We'll think about it later. Go ahead and, I'm gonna comment that out for now. And then init panel, we want to comment this shit out too. Yeah, okay. So, I think what I want to do then is let's actually set up a default config. So, our icons that we have, we've got these. Not a whole lot. This would be good for the browser, I think. Something like that. That's for locking. We could use that for locking the screen. This is the part where my creativity fails, is what do we actually want this damn thing to do? I did want to play sound effects with it, because having a little soundboard would be cool. Dixet. Look at that, Dixet. It's supposed to be diskette, but I guess they typoed it when they made it. Okay, so let's go through OBS. We'll set up some OBS shit, because that'll be immediately useful. So if I go into my OBS settings, and you guys can't see this, but going into my hotkeys, let's set up one to mute my mic, because I feel like that's very useful. So, where's the microphone? Okay, so that's going to be meta F1 to mute my audio device. Let's, I think we want to put that like right here. So that's going to be button 5, keybind, meta plus F1, and then the icon, let's go and set that to, we want a mute icon. Do we have mute? There we go, volume off. All right, volume off.png. Okay. All right, and what else do we want? Let's have a button to change the scene to, so switch to scene. So I've got two scenes that I want to set up, or that I want to go back and forth between. One is the be right back. That's my idle. So let's do, oh, I can do numpad keys. Control numpad 7. Does that work? How do I get those? I need to make sure that I'm getting those key presses properly. And I need to find, there's a whole list of key codes. Where did it? I want to, because I need to make sure that I'm actually getting the number pad keys instead of whatever the hell it would be pushing otherwise. Let's just, I think we can print out the E codes. What is it? From evdev import E codes. And then I want to print dir E codes. I think that's what I want. Ooh! Import pprint. Pretty equals pprint dot pretty printer. So establish that one, right? And then pretty pprint dir E codes. Ah, so much nicer. Okay, so key what is it? KP. Okay, so KP. And let me double check my code where we're handling inputs. Where is that being done at? Do 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 do. Polar input, key map, key code. Oh, we're doing that under panel. Handling our input, action keybind. Okay, so then we're appending that. Okay, so key underscore, and I just need to make mine KP. Okay, so for OBS, if I want to do number pad, it's just got to be prefixed with KP. Is Alt. It's just Alt, and then I believe I am getting that as a meta key. Yeah, okay. So we just need to do Alt. Okay, so that's going to be volume off. Let's leave volume, or number 2, this one. Keybind is going to be Alt plus KP7. Wait, no, Control CTRL plus Alt plus KP7. And that's going to do a keybind. And we want to set an image for that one. That one is going to be our EFK. So let's do like the moon. I think that's probably a good one. You like Sleepy Sheepy? Okay. So moon.png. And then we need a button to get back to our current scene. It's gonna be Control Alt number pad 8. That's gonna go right next to that one. And what icon do we want for that? This one is going to be, just do group. That one looks good, because then we know that it's like, everybody is here together. Let's see, group. Wonder if there's let's just see, stream deck icon pack. So gotta just have free icons. Does it cost money? Oh, yeah, they want me to sign in. Rip. That's something that I've noticed too, which is kind of interesting. You know, I'm pretty new to streaming if you haven't noticed based off of my my channel size. But I've noticed some people doing like selling and marketing like stream products, like assets and stuff, which is kind of interesting. That's pretty cool. Wowie. Oh, there's lots of stuff here. I don't know if any of this is like free to use or what. Free SVGs. Whatever. We'll deal with that later. Okay, so let's see we got those keybinds, so this one will take me out of take me to the BRB scene, and this one will bring me back. And then what else do we have? What else do we want? Adding some markers would be kind of neat. I don't know if you can do that with a stream. Oh, I need a button to swap between my two VMs. This one's pretty unique to my use case, but that's the whole idea, right? So if we want to swap between this one, we'll do this one, laptop.png. And we just need to hide yeah, hide and unhide the Windows reversing VM. So that one is going to be just Control F10. Wonder if that killed my stream or not. Hello? Oh, it blew out my mic though. Cool. Alright, let's do Control Shift. Can we not do, let's do Alt number pad 1. I don't think that actually has any ill effects. Actually, I don't. One thing that I'm not too sure about is OBS. I don't know if it's actually listening to all the hotkeys because I'm using Wayland. I don't know if I have to like have my mouse like in the window or something. I don't think I have to. Yeah. I mean that interesting. So I think I need like global hotkeys or something. OBS WebSocket. Oh, geez. Interesting. Huh. Okay. So that is problematic. I did not consider this to be an issue until now. As much as I like Wayland, it does throw some wrenches into your plans. Interesting. Okay. Where is the API? Interesting. Well, that's dead. I just want to know how to talk to it. Python, OBS, WebSocket. Yeah, so what I'm thinking we'll have to do, um, is kind of integrate OBS WebSockets into my handler, into this guy, display pad worker. So we can get like a, set up a Python library with some functions to create the OBS WebSocket, and then to talk to it. And then what we can do from there is in our config, we can specify like an action instead of keybind. We'll just do like OBS WS or something like that, or just WS. And then have for our value, I don't know, or hide scene or something like that. And that'll allow us to send WebSocket commands to OBS. Because the issue that we're going to run into is because this is on Linux and it's using Wayland. Wayland has a strict permission architecture for like keyboards and mice inputs, basically. So it doesn't actually, like, the key bindings or key presses that I'm emulating with this device are not going to actually go through to OBS. They're going to go through to the active window. And a workaround for that is to just integrate OBS WebSockets, which honestly isn't too bad, because that gives us some more flexibility in the future if we wanted to do some crazier stuff. Because we have access to the OBS WebSockets, we can then, you know, orchestrate OBS in ways that you wouldn't be able to with just hotkeys. So that'd be interesting to dig into. So I think the layout that we want to do for this, let me go, since we have a new challenge, a new goal. I'm gonna go update these. So our state management is pretty much done in our create worker service. Actually, I don't know. What is state management? Partial update. And then let's see, animations. So, and for creating our worker service, we want OBS WebSockets. And the features for that, we want change scenes, mute, unmute, live, unalive. There we go. So we got a couple more things, a couple more challenges that we can work on now. And I think for this, we're gonna want to make a new Python file specifically for the WebSockets, the OBS WebSockets. Doesn't look too difficult. The issue is that I'm not too sure what the message is, the WebSocket message is from. Wow. Stuff is so useless. AI overview. Okay, so the way this is working is it imports OBS WebSocket, the WS, and then the events. We establish our host port and password, and then we have a couple of functions for on event and on switch. And then with the WebSockets, we register OBS WS host port password, and then you register your on event, and then this is on switch event switch swings. Okay, so this will be useful for responding to events, but I think we need to send events. So let's go to switch scenes. So similarly, we connect, we import our WS, we have that. What is requests for? WS call request set current program scene. Say I want to know these. What are these? What are the other features? Ah, there we go. There's the juice. Okay. So we got some docs. That's good. Ugh. It's almost nap time. Alright, so looks like there are quite a few things that we can do. So we can authenticate. I think this was demonstrated here. WS Connect. Okay, so you don't have to authenticate. It's just, I'm not sure what that is for. I guess the OBS method, OBS WebSocket method, this right here, it has this onConnect method, and that's doing the authenticating based off your password and everything that you're passing to it. So that's why we don't have to worry about that. And then when we do WS call, we give it the requests. I guess we can do that. We can print out, or at least go look at this. Requests. So base requests, and then we have a factory that goes and makes all the shit. Ew. Okay. I think that's I think that's really all we need. All right, so let's go into our virtual environment, right? Hip. What is it? OBS web. No. Okay. Then let's go ahead and make a new file. And we're going to, let's just copy some of this boilerplate. Okay. And so just try fluorescent scenes, get scenes, name scene, switching to. Okay, so what we need is we need a, let's save this as OBS integration. Yeah, we'll just do that for now. Okay, I don't know why we have that. Get rid of that. We do want to log localhost port 445, blah, blah, blah. And then the secret, I think we want to pull that from the environment. So we can do, what is it? Sys.getin. Python environment variables. OS get. So it's OS, not sys. What are we using this for? Nothing? It's not being used for anything? Okay. All right, so we'll get the OBS WS from the environment. that'll be our password. And then we'll initialize our OBS WebSocket. WebSocket connect. And then that'll get our handle. So let's do def get OBS. I'm gonna do handle. Get OBS handle. And then we're gonna stick all this shit in here. Alright, then we'll report that as a fail. And we'll just do alright. So, and then let's do another one. Let's do def toggle scene or switch scene. And then it's going to be the name of the scene. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do let's actually make another object. I hate making objects. OBS handler. And we'll do define init. We'll put these under here. And then our init will be get OBS self.get OBS handle. All right. And then let's just do self.get scenes equals none. And then what we can do is under init self.handle. How do we do this? Request ws call request.get scene list. Def get scenes self. And then what we want to do is self.handle.call requests.get scene list. And then yeah, that spits out, I'm guessing, returns some JSON or something similar. And then what we'll do is get scene list. for scene and scene list. Actually, let's just do self.scenes equals that, and then we will do get scenes. Fill that back in, and then this one ws call handle self.handle call request set current program scene, and then scene name is going to be name. Okay, it should be good on that front. Let's wrap these in try catch exceptions, because that looks like excuse me. Try accept. Okay. And then we can get rid of all that shit. Okay. So now we have our OBS handler. We'll go through, and when we initialize this, it will get the OBS handle. It'll call this get OBS handle. Goes in, sets our local host, our port, password, grabs from OBS WebSocket environment variable, creates the WS WebSocket connect. If we connected successfully, return WS, which gets stored into our handle. And then we set our scenes value to none, and then we run get scenes, which should go through, use our handle, call get scene list, and then save that as our scenes. And then for our switch scene, we'll do something similar where we get our handle. And then we'll try to set that to the scene. That seems good enough. It seems good enough for now. So I need to get OBS installed, I think. Let's try this out. apt get apt get install OBS Studio. Sudo apt get install OBS Studio. Okay. I wonder if this is going to work in a VM, or if it's going to complain. OBSception. Alright, cool. So, I don't know if we have to do anything to actually get the WebSocket working. It's probably under advanced. Network. Find IP. Okay. Alright, well, I guess we can try our code. Let's go ahead and Let's make a sample real quick to... Actually, we don't need to do that. We can just do it at the bottom over here, like I normally do. Alright, let's do that. That should print out the scenes for OBS. Do Python 3. And what do we want? Oh, we need to CD into our mountain. CD mountain display pad Python. Python 3. And then OBS integration. Ah, yes, you were correct, Python. I forgot a colon. Okay, what else did I forget? I know I forgot something else. There's no way this is just gonna work. Oh, yep. OS, environ, get OBS WebSocket. Oh, see, that's the thing, is I don't have a password for that. Oops, wrong button. Not too sure where this is. Parent stream, put audio, video, hotkeys, accessibility advanced. It does not seem to be anywhere in here. Tools, WebSocket server settings. There we go. 445. Is that gonna let me copy paste it? Nope. Okay. Booty. Ah, okay. So generate a password, show connection info. So we will copy that and then come over here and we will do, what is it, OBS WS equals Control Shift V. Okay, so echo OBS WS. And then if we do Python 3 import OS, print OS environ dot get OBS WS. That should do it. Nope. Bruh. Um, Sheesh. Oh, I need to export it, don't I? That's what it is. There we go. OBS WS is there now. So if I do Python 3 and then I do import OS print os.environ.get and then we do OBS underscore WS. Now it should be in there. Yep, there we go. Okay, so that'll get our WebSocket password for OBS. So I can exit that, and then let's make sure our OBS integration is doing what it's supposed to. Okay, cool. So let's run this again. See what that says. Connection refused. Port 445, server IP best guess. Okay. Oh, gotta enable it. Enable WebSocket server. Okay, and then we'll just do a while OBS. Empty response to identify password may be inconnect. Inconnect! Password may be inconnect. Okay. Let's see. Authentication. Got hello message. Challenge. Salt response. Alright, where are you fucking up? Can I get it to just listen on localhost specifically? Or I guess it's just open to all. That's kind of weird. Whatever. Let's see. Print host port password. I just want to see what that actually comes out as in the Python code. Localhost 445 and it's got the password. Okay. Tools. WebSocket server settings. Show connection info. Oh, the password's different. Okay. That's fine. And just re-export this with the right one. There we go. So now we've got our OBS scenes. We can spit those out. All right, cool. So that's hooked up. Now what we'll need to do is go through and finish filling out this stuff. And then over in our display pad worker, or sorry, our panel, we can have a action keybind, action cue, action switch. Let's set it up right here as def action obsws or obs command. There, that's good. B, and we'll do these the same as all of these. For running obs cmd, and then we'll do pass because that doesn't actually exist yet. So then from here we'll call our OBS integration. So up here we can do, we'll do import like, integration. So we'll do that. Actually, I don't think we want to do it here. We might want to do that over here where we pass, because we're going to get the handle for the, let's see. Get OBS handle. So we'll do get OBS handle there. And then we can, elif OBS CMD in status 0 pass. Well, no, though. Okay, so then we'll just do, OBS handle dot, actually, I guess it depends on what the command is. So we'll just hit a pass on this right now. Because we also don't have the handle. We don't know what the structure for our messages is going to be like yet. So, but that's cool. We're getting somewhere. So we got our OBS integration, or at least our generic, object going for our handler. And then our panel can just kind of relay the, let's see, action OBS CMD, we will return. Wait, handle input, return. Oh, see, I need to actually set that as, because these don't get returned. Okay. I'm gonna take a break for a little bit. And actually, it's approaching 2 hours and 18 minutes on this stream. I think that's good for now. My husband is about to get back to the house. So we're gonna eat some food. But yeah, I think that about wraps it up for today's stream. We made some decent progress. I didn't get to the point where I can actually release this. I mean, I could, but there's still more stuff that I want to do before it gets to that point. I mean, obviously, like anybody who releases code, you want to delay that as long as possible. But yeah, so made some decent progress. Fixed our colors. We were having the issue with our colors being reported backwards or being sent to the device backwards, so those are actually being reported properly now. We went through and kind of filled out some settings for the OBS config. Nothing spectacular yet. But yeah, and then we went and we found out that we're going to need to set up the OBS WebSocket in order to send commands to OBS, because Wayland is restrictive in that regard. Because normally, typically, like on a Windows computer, you could just like emulate a keystroke, and that keystroke is a global keystroke, and that'll go to any application that is listening to like global keystrokes. And so that's why you can use keystrokes to open up or interact with different applications when you have like a different active window open in Windows. And you can do that in Linux too, I believe, with like the X11 Windows server. But in our case, we're using Wayland. So it's not going to send those keystrokes to any of the non-active windows. So in my streaming setup, I've got OBS running in Wayland, and so I'm going to need to talk to the WebSocket server for OBS and send it commands over that instead, which is not too big of a headache, but it just means that we can't take a shortcut of just using hotkeys like Control keypad 7 to make it do stuff. Not a big deal. I mean, I think having the OBS integration is better anyway. just because you can do more with it, and it makes it a little bit more flexible. So, all right. Well, I think that about wraps it up. If you guys enjoyed this, feel free to follow me on my socials. I'm on Twitch, YouTube, and I've got a profile on Blue Sky. If you want to keep up to date when I go live on streams. So yeah, hope you guys have a good afternoon and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.